Tonight on DC News Now, I'm tracking winter weather alerts across the region and bitter cold. I have all the details. They're coming up.
We're down here at the wharf for Covenant House's annual sleep out. This whole area soon to be filled with people raising money to end youth homelessness.
The frigid temps are coming. The business is already busy helping families get ready for winter conditions.
High school football playoffs kick off in Fairfax County.
They said they had an independent investigation. It didn't seem independent to any of us.
The controversial game tonight that had 6 schools threatening to boycott the playoffs.
Jumping ahead to spring as we're already dreaming of the cherry blossoms.
I wanted it to evoke a sense of joy and serenity, maybe even a little bit of nostalgia.
More on the art revealed as DC prepares for next year's festival.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Susan Tramp.
Hi, I'm Chris Flanagan. There's a hypothermia alert right now in the district. That makes it a bitter cold night for the Covenant House's annual sleep out. That event raises money to bring awareness and ultimately end youth homelessness. Our Daniel Hamburg is there talking with people right now getting ready to voluntarily sleep out in the cold.
But first, let's get a check on our forecast. We have DC News Now's chief meteorologist Janessa Webb as we're looking live to the Washington Monument there. It is cold, it's going to be wet and wintry.
Yeah, we got some snow heading our way as well, Janessa.
Yeah, some people in the DMV super excited for that, and some people on the other end not looking forward to this bitter cold. Wind chills back into the teens in some areas. Live look, it's beautiful out there right now. We're sitting under clear skies here in DC metro area, but a different pattern farther west that you go. The winds are making a statement out towards Kaiser, Cumberland, where we have blowing snow on the ground across that region with winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings currently in place. Good evening, Anne Arundel County up towards Baltimore, 25 to about 26 mile per hour wind flow. You have a tale of 2 storms. They're dancing at this point. Here's a secondary low, and that low is going to make its way across the Carolinas. This is the storm system that we will continue to watch moving counterclockwise, and it's already starting to provide us with a little bit of rain out towards Prince George's County, areas of southern Maryland, but a little bit more snow the farther you go to the higher elevation. This is a big time event above 3,000 feet in elevation, where I'm forecasting at least 12 inches of fresh new powder about to impact that region. I have more on this forecast. It's coming up.
All right, Janessa, let's talk more about that hypothermia alert happening in the district tonight. It's creating some potentially dangerous conditions that an organization helping young people dealing with homelessness want others to experience.
Yeah, they certainly do. The Covenant House is hosting its annual sleep out at the wharf, and tonight more than 150 people are participating.
DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live here in Southwest. And Daniel, how are people prepared for this event?
Well, Susan and Chris, people have their blankets, their sweatshirts, their jackets. They are prepared. Right now, they're inside here at Boardwalk, finishing up listening to a panel discussion with current youth and alumni of Covenant House Greater Washington programs. In about an hour, they'll head over this way toward the pier to sleep out to get a sense of the conditions that homeless youth are facing. Now, tonight started with a march along the waterfront as everyone took a moment to pause and remember the 90 homeless people who died in DC last year, some of them youth. This event is all about ending youth homelessness. The message is by giving up your bed for one night, you can ensure that youth facing homelessness will sleep safely at Covenant House. There are close to 1,000 homeless youth across the DC area that they're able to count, but there could be many more who are not on the street, who are not on the streets or in shelters, but couch surfing, for instance. Covenant House provides not only safe shelter, but food, clothing, and services, including job training, education, health care, mental health counseling, and legal aid.
It's pervasive, actually, and a lot of the youth that are on the streets come from marginalized communities. We have an extra high number of LGBTQIA youth who are finding themselves houseless because of certain factors in their family.
We sleep out so our young people don't have to. We sleep out to raise critical funds for youth experiencing homelessness in the area. So it supports our efforts so that our youth can leave us and thrive.
And speaking of that fundraising, they're hoping to raise $500,000. They've been monitoring their progress, and it just keeps growing and growing. Right now, they've raised at least $245,000. The actual sleeping out in the cold starts at 10 p.m. and they'll go until 5 a.m. We're live in Southwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thanks. Meanwhile, all new tonight, a woman in Wheaton dies in a house fire. Montgomery County Fire and Rescue say she had critical burn injuries. This happened just before 6:30 tonight on Livingston Street near Henderson Avenue. Fire crews say the woman accidentally caught on fire, then ran out of the home. A neighbor called 911. The fire is now out, and crews are working to figure out exactly how it started. Also new tonight in Montgomery County, a crash ends with a car rolling over. You can see it here. This happened on one of the ramps on a Maryland Route 200, or the ICC, from Georgia Avenue. One person was taken to the hospital, we're told, with non-life-threatening injuries.
Now to a controversial high school football game happening tonight in Northern Virginia. Hayfield is playing in the postseason, overcoming allegations of recruitment violations and 6 Fairfax County coaches who had threatened to forfeit the playoffs. DC News Now's Max Marcilla gives us the play-by-play, including reaction from those at the game.
It's a game that threatened to never kick off. It's been less than 2 weeks since the VHSL banned Hayfield from the postseason and 1 week since that ruling was blocked by a judge. But here we are, game 1 of the playoffs, Hayfield and Edison.
All I could say is God bless the judge, you know. Nobody in this world could take away how hard these kids work.
The ban coming after alleged recruiting violations against the program and first-year head coach Daryl Overton. The program was cleared by Fairfax County Public Schools independent review. Superintendent Michelle Reed saying coaches, athletes, parents, and fans are frustrated by the circumstances that their teams are in now because of the ambiguities within the VHSL's rules and policies. She's promising an external review of student-athlete transfer and eligibility practices.
All sports, all levels, all the schools should be abide by the same rules, not just Hayfield.
But there's frustration around the league. 6 other Fairfax County coaches threatened to forfeit their playoff games. None did, but Edison mom Macy Julienne is worried about safety and fairness.
You know, I don't know that it's fair to set teams up who are playing football with other teams that they're supposedly evenly matched with a team who is like a college level team.
On the field, Hayfield's talent is undisputed. The Hawks went 9-1 and have their eyes on a state championship. Hayfield fans say this has been a distraction for the student athletes.
Everybody wants to see him down. They push through.
Julienne says it's caused her to lose trust in the district.
They said they had an independent investigation. It didn't seem independent to any of us.
If Hayfield advances far enough in the playoffs, it could create for an interesting scenario because the next hearing in that court case is set for December 4th, which is just days before the state semifinal. Reporting in Alexandria, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
Now to new details in Maryland. A man accused of shooting and killing his 15-year-old stepson has been denied bond. Police arrested Darshawn Williams on Wednesday. Investigators say he killed his stepson, Michael Clemens, over some unfinished chores. He was found dead in their La Plata home. Williams now faces a number of charges, including second-degree murder.
A man wanted for a St. Patrick's Day murder in Prince George's County has been arrested in North Carolina. Raheem Hawkins Bozeman was taken into custody this morning. Investigators say he shot Jessica Somerville to death in this District Heights parking lot back in March. Just yesterday, police canvassed the area and released new surveillance video of Hawkins Bozeman in hopes of making that arrest.
Over in Virginia, a breakthrough in a 50-year-old murder cold case. A forensic artist at George Mason University has sculpted this clay figure of the unidentified woman known only as Jane Doe. She was found shot to death in Loudoun County back in 1973. Investigators hope someone might recognize her or her features. Now, we first told you about this story earlier this week when officials dug up her grave to try and use new DNA technology to identify her. But it also triggered a Virginia law preventing her from being reburied until her identity is known.
All right, developing now at 9. Believe it or not, the countdown is on. We are officially 4 months from the start of the National Cherry Blossom Festival. And tonight, organizers kicking off the festival season with a petal-filled preview of what to expect. Our Mariel Carbone was there, and Mariel, fun night, a lot in store, of course.
Yeah, of course, Chris. You know, it goes without saying there will be plenty of petals, pink, and yes, even a parade. But tonight, really focusing in on one aspect of the celebration, the artwork that connects the culture and the community as organizers unveil the official festival artwork.
Without further ado, I present to you Bloom.
A big art reveal, bringing the next cherry blossom season into full bloom.
Art is everything, and everything is art.
Anna August is the artist behind this year's official National Cherry Blossom Festival artwork. The piece, with pops of yellow, blue, and pink, is intended to be vibrant like the festival itself.
I wanted it to evoke a sense of joy and serenity, maybe even a little bit of nostalgia.
Lots of color, lots of movement and energy, all things that we hope people feel when they come to our experiences.
Lillian Iverson, Vice President of the National Cherry Blossom Festival, says signature events from the parade to Petalpalooza, the Kite Festival, and more will return this year.
We're very excited.
But unlike in years past, Blossom revelers will see this. Construction crews with work to rebuild the tidal basin seawall still underway.
So this year's experience might require a little bit of rerouting around the tidal basin. People will still be able to do the full walk around, and they'll be able to learn some things about what is in store with the area down there as well.
Despite that, organizers say it's a celebration you don't want to miss.
National Cherry Blossom Festival brings so much joy and fun and renewal that we want to connect to people.
All right, so Chris and Susan, we obviously had to ask about Stumpy. We know that tree was removed to start with the tidal basin reconstruction there. And, you know, lucky we still know that the National Arboretum working to make clones of that tree from clippings of Stumpy. So we could see some more stumplings down there at future festivals. But this year's festival, March 30th until April 13th. Coming soon.
Definitely no Stumpy clones this year.
Not yet.
They're still babies.
Stumplings,
They're
maybe soon.
Little stumplies.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Very well, thanks. All right, meanwhile, all new tonight, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser making a bet with Orlando, Florida's mayor. It is for Saturday's Washington Spirit game when they take on the Orlando Pride in the NWSL Championship.
Wager is simple. The winning team's colors will be prominently displayed in the losing team's city next week. So in the event of a Spirit victory, the Lake Eola fountain lights will be yellow.
All right, let's hope so. But if the Orlando Pride somehow managed to win, I don't think it's going to happen, right? The Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge near Audi Field will be lit up in Orlando Pride purple.
All right. There you go. So we're not rooting for purple.
We're feeling good. We're feeling good about this. But it won't happen.
I love all of these wagers and bets because we continue to see them. Because Mayor Muriel Bowser making good on her bet with Baltimore's mayor last month. You might remember this. It was the Commanders-Ravens game, and, well, maybe you wanted to forget because Washington lost. That means Bowser had to send Baltimore's mayor some half smoke from Ben's Chili Bowl. There it is, delivered, hand delivered.
That's pretty good. That's a good.